Whether you're tracking your fastest mile or hiking to your next destination, you're probably going to want to take a smartwatch with you. In particular, there's two brands that I'm going to talk about today. One brand, let me pull it out here, is the Apple Watch. The other brand is the Garmin watch. In this video, we're going to talk about which watch is better for the outdoors at a high level. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, I just wanted to say that I've been trying to create this video for a while, but every time that I go to create this video, my stupid Apple Watch is dead and I have to charge it, and then things come up. You know, I have two kids, I have a toddler, and I have a newborn, and so things just come up and I haven't gotten to it. I've also been sick lately. The moral of the story is that Apple is awesome, but the freaking battery life sucks. And so with that being said, you can see where some of my loyalties already lie just based on battery life. Okay, so now let's get into the video. Let's talk about design and build quality. Apple Watches are known for their sleek, modern, and minimalist design. They also come in a variety of different styles and finishes, including aluminum, stainless steel, and titanium. They also fit seamlessly into your everyday lifestyle, whether you're at the office, on the trail, or hitting the gym. On the other hand, the Garmin watches, like the one I have on my wrist and like the one in front of me, are built to be more robust, and they're built for athletes. They have more features for outdoor activities, and they're just better overall. They're built more rugged, and oftentimes they're more water resistant, and they even have solar capabilities. So if you're really looking for a watch that's going to last you outdoors for a long time, and then also for a watch that you almost never have to charge, well, you do have to charge them, but it just feels like you never are charging them. But anyways, if you're looking for something like that, the Garmin watch is going to be a great option. The next topic that I wanted to kind of cover was features and functionality. Now, the Apple Watch takes the cake as far as smart features. The Apple ecosystem is just better overall, and it's probably the best thing out there if you have an Apple. It just works seamlessly with your MacBook, your iPhone, or your iPad, and I really enjoy the Apple Watch for that. If I lived in the city, or I spent a lot of time in places where there's a lot of cell service and I was going to charge my phone every day, I would definitely go with the Apple Watch because there's just a lot of great functionality and a lot of cool apps out there for the Apple Watch. I mean, you're basically carrying a phone on your wrist, which is kind of more than what I want in a watch. Garmin, on the other hand, has a bunch of smart features, and the new Fenix 7, this is the Fenix 6, and things like the TAC X7 are touchscreen. So you have the option to go touchscreen, or you have the button option, which is the reason why I went with a Garmin initially, is because when you're running or doing things outdoors and you get all sweaty and you try to touch your watch, a lot of times it doesn't work very well. And so having a button-based clock or a button-based watch is a lot better for someone who's an athlete or who's going to get sweaty, and you're just able to navigate through the systems a lot easier. It's something that you can actually turn on and off on this TAC X7, which I really like. So when you're actually doing stuff outdoors and you're sweating, you can turn the touchscreen off and just use the buttons. Now, when it comes to fitness tracking and health monitoring, both options bring a lot to the table, but they approach it differently. So let's go over that. With Apple Watches, like the one here that I have in front of me, you have things like heart rate monitoring, sleep tracking, ECG, and blood oxygen levels. And you also have Apple's famous health rings to help you keep motivated and fit. It's simple and easy to use, but for the athletes and the avid outdoorsmen, there's not a lot of features past that. And so this is really meant for someone who doesn't spend a lot of time outdoors, or kind of like what I would call a city person, honestly. Garmin, on the other hand, has better apps for things like VO2 max, your heart rate monitoring. They also do a better job, I think, with sleep analytics, and they have cool stuff for recovery time and things like that. All right, now let's talk about something I'm truly passionate about: battery life. Now, as I've already mentioned quite a few times, the Garmin hands down beats the Apple Watch as far as battery life goes. One thing I really like about the Garmin is I can literally use it and go on a backpacking trip for about a week, use my GPS, use my mapping system, and I always bring a spare battery just in case if I need to charge my watch, or obviously I'm going to need to charge my phone. So I always have a spare battery pack with me, but it's just crazy because I can use this watch a ton and it still has battery life when I get back. Battery life in GPS mode is also way better with the Garmin. You're going to get a lot more battery life. It might last, 2 or 3 days versus the Apple Watch. You're going to have to charge it if you're going on a day hike and you're using the GPS a lot. You better bring a battery pack if you're relying on your Apple Watch for navigation because it's going to die on you. This thing lasts 3 to 6 weeks depending on how much I use it, which is just crazy to me. The Phoenix 6 Pro Solar I used a lot, and it has a solar battery option to charge, but it doesn't really fully charge the battery, but it will give you extra battery life. And then the TAC X7 I've been using a lot lately, and same thing, it has solar, but they both just last a very long time. And that's something, like I said, I look for on a watch. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and not have to worry about charging my watch. I just go and grab it and put it on, and I can do that consecutively. I honestly forget that I have to charge it until it actually dies like a month later. So I really appreciate Garmin watches and their battery life. As far as Apple, drives me crazy. I'm selling these things once I'm done with the video. This is actually my wife's. This is mine. This is the Apple Watch Ultra, and this is the Apple Watch 8. They both suck. This one sucks even worse than the Ultra as far as battery life goes. Now, they are feature rich, but honestly, what good are features if you're always having to charge your watch or your watch is dead and you can't use them? And that's my main complaint and gripe about Apple. It's like, I don't want a smartphone on my wrist. I want a watch that I can use and has some functionality for things that I like. Now, when we're talking about actual battery life for the Apple Watch, on the Apple Watch 8 that my wife has, you get about 12 to maybe 20 hours. I would say more like 12 to 16. And this watch, even if you're not using it, is dead by the end of the day. This watch is supposed to get 36 hours of heavy use, and then if you're not using it that much, you're supposed to be able to use it up to 76 hours or 72 hours. I think it was 72 hours. You're supposed to be able to use this watch for that amount of time in low power mode, which is kind of a joke. I mean, in low power mode, you can't even really use the watch. So without even using this watch dies in a day and a half. So these watches both are completely useless to me. I hate having to charge my watch all the time. And for that reason, I just don't ever use these watches. And like I said, they're going to get sold right after this video. Finally, let's go ahead and talk about price, because I know that's important to a lot of people. It's important to me too, although it doesn't seem like it. I know I have a lot of money in watches right here. And honestly, I overspent for these watches. I don't even use all the capabilities of these watches, and I think I'm pretty simple, honestly, when it comes to watches. So I've learned that now by doing this video and testing out these watches. I know I'm probably going to sell these all and get something like the Garmin Instinct and just get rid of all of it, because I just don't use all the features. I don't need all the cool apps, and I don't need all the gadgets and gizmos. So yeah, high-techy watches aren't for me. I need something simple. But with that being said, the Apple Watch, the SE model, is going to run about $250 brand new. Obviously, you can find used or refurbished options on Amazon and eBay and things like that and get them cheaper. And then the Apple Watch Ultra that I have in the middle here, that's going to run you about $599 to $699. And then if you want the Ultra 2 that just came out, it's $899. And obviously, you can find used options as well. And then as far as Garmin goes, you can get a watch as cheap as $200, and it can go all the way up to $1,800 with that new TAC X8. This is the TAC X7. You can get it for about $1,600 brand new, and then obviously you can find it used for cheaper. But Garmin definitely varies a lot in price depending on what kind of features you want. Alrighty then. So which watch should you choose? Well, it just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for something that integrates well with your Apple products and you want something that's feature rich with apps and has an awesome ecosystem with Apple products, then I would definitely go with an Apple Watch. However, if you're looking for a watch that has excellent health and fitness tracking, you're probably going to want to go with the Garmin. Garmin is just the watch built for the adventurer, the avid outdoorsman or woman, and also the athlete. It's just an awesome watch, and honestly, it's my preferred watch. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay connected to the wild. If you liked this video or found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more honest gear reviews and outdoor content. I'd also like to hear from you in the comments section. If you tried the Apple Watch or the Garmin watch, what has your experience been like? And honestly, what watch do you prefer? I'd love to hear that opinion or to hear some feedback on how I did on this video. Once again, my name is Chris with Ignited by Nature, and until next time, guys and gals.